if you're looking for a dark horse NCAA title winner, I would look at San Diego State. The number 5 San Diego State Aztecs, 27-6, just won another Mountain West championship. They have a 9-deep rotation. They're 5th in RPI, 24th in BPI. In adjusted defensive efficiency, according to Ken Palm, they're 10th. They're 14th in adjusted efficiency margin. And should they run into Alabama in the Sweet 16, 5s are 9-41 all time against 1s. But last year on their side, Houston upset Arizona in that same round. They've only lost 3 times since December 10th, and they're one of the most experienced teams in the field. Defense is built to smother you, and they still can score over 70 points per game. I'm going to take the Aztecs to go pretty far in this tournament. Don't be surprised they end up in the Final Four. Looking at San Diego State and Charleston. Now, if you guys didn't see my YouTube short or TikTok or whatever, I am big on San Diego State. As a matter of fact, I'm huge on San Diego State. They have a 9-man rotation that is absolutely lethal. You talk about just how important it is to get through games, stay out of foul trouble, be able to have the depth. There are injuries that'll arise, throughout the tournament. And when you look at San Diego State, 9-man rotation. They don't just have 9 guys. They have 9 guys that can come in and can contribute. And so I'm looking at this game and thinking, okay, this could be something here for San Diego State moving forward. I mean, don't get me wrong. 5-12 is, let's be honest, when we're looking at a 5-12 matchup, if you guys don't know about the tournament, then you're probably not going to know what I'm talking about, but it's pretty much a graveyard. You never really want to be a 5 seed going up against a 12. It's just not really it's not a good thing. It doesn't turn out well. History tends to repeat itself, and that never goes well for the 5 seed. But since at some point we will have to pick a 12, since 12, there's always at least one 12 seed that wins in the first round, I am going to not pick it here. I think when you look at Charleston, 31-3, really impressive record. They did beat Virginia Tech. They did beat Kent State, who's on the other side in the Midwest region. And, I'm not saying they're a bad team. Congrats on them. They've had a fantastic year, but I'm just not picking them over a team that I think is going to potentially make the Final Four, in San Diego State. So I love what San Diego State's doing. So for that reason, I'm going to go with San Diego State here. I think defensively, they're going to be a problem, but I also think offensively, they're somewhat underrated. The thing about, Charleston is people will look at this offense, points per game here at, 80.8, and they'll be like, oh, well, they're 80.8, right? They score a lot of points. That's when level of competition matters. And when you look, the best team they played against was probably Kent State, since they're in the tournament, and they're like a 13 seed. So nothing against Kent State, but they don't have one guy that they're going to go to. They don't have a closer. And when I look at this, I'm not saying that they don't have a chance, but they're not great on the perimeter. And so for that reason and other reasons, I'm going to stick with San Diego State here. San Diego State versus Furman. I'm going to move San Diego State on. Like I said, the 9-man rotation, I just really like where they're going. I like everything about San Diego State. You probably won't find other people as high on San Diego State as I am. So I have them moving on to the Sweet 16 to play West Virginia. I'm going to go with San Diego State over West Virginia. I think the bus stops here for West Virginia, a really good tournament run to knock off the number 1 seed, to knock off Maryland, and then to fall just short in the Sweet 16. I think anybody in that West Virginia Mountaineers fan base would sign up for this turnout. I know there's nobody really picking them over Alabama. Everyone seems to think Alabama is 100% going to run the table. Not everybody, but a lot of people. I think West Virginia has a nice run, but they falter down the stretch because while they are a very good offensive team, I think San Diego State is a good enough offensive team with an elite defense, and that, you talk about that rotation. I think they're going to be too much. That rotation is going to matter late in this. When we talk about the Sweet 16, Elite 8, Final Four, when you have a 9-man rotation that can handle it, I really feel like, you know, that in my opinion, I feel like that's really going to help them and propel them moving forward. I would not be surprised if Alabama beat West Virginia, and in another bracket, I'll have that. But for this bracket, I'm leaning West Virginia. That's why I picked them over Alabama, but I don't have them getting past San Diego State. I think San Diego State is going to be a problem. And I have to go to the Final Four, San Diego State versus Arizona. You have the experience. You have the rotation. You don't have the rotation. A team that struggles, gets into foul trouble. Arizona, I think, has more talent, but I think San Diego State is going to do a nice job, maybe push Arizona into foul trouble. That defense is going to send them to Houston, and they will be in the Final Four representing the South. They play that tempo that's really hard to beat. And then San Diego State, I think when you look at them, San Diego State is going to be a problem because they have that 9 deep rotation. They're a solid team offensively. They're a great team defensively. And that's honestly kind of what I would describe Kansas right now. So looking at it, I would say this could go either way. San Diego State or Marquette. Where are we going to go with this? All right. I'm going to say San Diego State. I really like Marquette, but I really like San Diego State this year, so I'm going to pick San Diego State. But I do think that San Diego State has a real shot. People will say what they will about the Mountain West. I don't. I think this team's different, and I could absolutely be wrong. This could age like milk. Okay.